Good day and salutations, my friends. So happy to have you here and see all of your beautiful faces. Now, throughout the duration of this video, I want you to ignore the band-aid on my finger. Got a little bit of a boo-boo, but we're pushing through the pain so I can get this video out and hopefully help a few of you. And also, if you guys don't know, I do stream right here on this channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 6:30 p.m. Eastern and on, and also Saturday mornings whenever I wake up. So if you have some free time, pop on by and we can hang out, play some games, chit chat, you know, all the fun streamer things. But let's dive right into the video because it is a bit of a longer one today, and for that reason I am going to be breaking up this video into chapters. So if you hover along the bottom of the video, you can see the different chapters I have made for you, so you can just click ahead to whichever one interests you most. Or if you're just interested in all these methods we're going to be talking about today, then obviously just watch through the whole video. And obviously, based on the title of this video, we're talking about how to set up your first YouTube live stream or live event, whatever you want to call it. And the segments we're going to be breaking this up to are how to activate your live stream. Even if you have a YouTube account already, you have to activate the live stream. 2 different ways to set it up through YouTube by going live instantly and setting up a scheduled stream. And then 2 different ways that you can go live through Streamlabs OBS, going live instantly and scheduling a stream. So first things first, we're gonna be talking about how to activate your stream. Now, as you can see, I have YouTube pulled up here, and we're going to go up to the top right to the plus button in the middle of that camera where it says create. Click on it and then go live. Now don't worry, by clicking this button, it doesn't mean that you are instantly going live. It is just so we can set up a live stream to go live instantly or to schedule one for later. Now, as you can see, when I click go live, it brings me to this YouTube studio here for my live stream. If this is your first time going live, this will not show for you. I have an alternate YouTube account that I use just for this tutorial where I have screenshots of each stage that you will go through when going live for the first time. And this is why I'm telling you this first, so that way you know instantly there is a 24-hour waiting period to activate and approve your account to live stream to YouTube. So first thing that's going to happen when you click go live is it's going to bring you to this screen right here. And you can see the first thing that pops up is you can go live through a built-in webcam or a streaming software. And for the purposes of today, we're going to be going live through a streaming software, more specifically Streamlabs OBS or SLOBS. From here, you're going to click go where it says streaming software. And then after you click that, it'll take you to this screen right here. And it gives you 2 options, go live right now or at a later date. And again, for the purposes of this tutorial, we'll just say go live right now. And then for me, after I click go live now, it brought me to this screen where it said something went wrong. So if you get this message, don't be alarmed. If you click try again, then it'll bring you to this screen right here where it says ready in 24 hours. It takes 24 hours to activate your account for live streaming. Once activated, you can go live instantly. And if you have any questions as to why that is, I found a thread on Twitter where YouTube answered someone's question as to why they had to wait the 24-hour period. And basically they say to make sure there's been no restrictions on your account for the last 90 days. And if there hasn't been, then you're ready to stream. So just be mindful of this. Don't plan on doing this for the first time the day that you want to stream. Make sure you're doing it at least 24 hours before your first stream. So fast forward 24 hours, your account now is activated and ready to stream to YouTube. Now you have the luxury of choosing one of the 4 ways you can go live to YouTube through a streaming software. So the first method we're going to talk about is setting up your stream through YouTube and going live instantly, which means you're not scheduling a stream for a later date. So going back to the YouTube main page here, we're going to go to this top button where it says create up in the top right, click go live. And now since your account is activated, it should bring you to this screen. Now for the sake of today's tutorial, I will be having this privacy setting set to private. Ideally, yours would be public, obviously, so people can find your stream and watch you. But since this is a test, I don't really want people finding it. So the top left-hand side of your screen, you will see where there are 3 different tabs: stream, webcam, and manage. We are only interested in 2 of these 3 tabs today. And the first tab that we are interested in for this method is the stream tab, which we are already currently on. And this is the one you will use to go live instantly. So after you set everything up, you click go live and you're live. But how exactly do we do that and get our stream ready for YouTube? The first thing we're going to do is optimize all of our settings by going over here to the right hand side where it says edit. Once you click edit, it brings you to this edit settings screen. And this is where you're going to input all of your information to optimize your stream for the YouTube algorithm. You're basically creating a normal YouTube post. As you can see, you're going to create a catchy title. This is a test, probably the most catchy title there is. You're going to input a description, your visibility, which for today we said is private, but ideally you would go public. The category, gaming title, a clickable thumbnail, any playlist you want it to go in. I have one set already for Warzone streams. And then down here, you can input all of your tags, so that way it is optimized for the YouTube algorithm and people can more easily find you. And then on the left-hand side under details, you can see where it says live chat. This is where you can manage your chat settings. You can enable it or disable if you don't want people talking in your chat. You can enable slow mode, and you can also allow your live chat replay if people were to watch it back later after your stream has ended. And once you are done with all of these settings, you can click save. I didn't make any changes, so it's not available. So I'll just click cancel. And once all the information is input for your settings, now you want to open up Streamlabs OBS. If you don't already have Streamlabs OBS, pause the video, go download it. Super simple process. Once it's downloaded and opened, come back to me. So once you open up Streamlabs OBS for the first time, it's probably going to prompt you with something asking which streaming platform do you want to connect to. Obviously, we're doing YouTube, so you click YouTube, go through the process it takes you through to connect it to your YouTube account, and then it should be good to go and ready to set it up. And if you're not prompted with that message to start off, don't worry, we'll be going over exactly how to connect your YouTube stream to your Streamlabs OBS, so it's sending information to YouTube. So the first thing you're going to do once you have Streamlabs OBS open is go down to your settings. In settings, you go all the way up right under the general tab and click stream. Here you can see all of your different stream destinations. Obviously today we are talking about YouTube, and I already have mine logged in. However, if yours is not logged in currently or connected anyway, that's totally fine, because for this first method and the next one, we will be skipping this step entirely and going right down here where it says stream to custom ingest, and we're going to click that button. And then if you click that, you'll see a warning. Streaming to a custom ingest is advanced functionality. Some features of Streamlabs OBS may stop working as expected. Ignore this message. Everything we're going to be doing with this method and the next one is pretty basic practices, and you won't mess anything up with your stream. So the first thing you're going to do is make sure that your service is set to YouTube/YouTube Gaming, because that's where we're sending our stream to. Primary YouTube ingest server should be your server of choice. And then for the stream key, this is where you'll need to go right back to the YouTube studio we're just in for your live stream you just created. Right over here on the left-hand side, you'll see stream key, paste in encoder. The encoder is Streamlabs OBS that encodes your stream, sends that information to YouTube to play out to others. And make sure that you are never ever showing this stream key to anyone. If anyone has this information, they can stream anything they want to your channel. So what we're going to do here is click copy. And say you accidentally show it to someone, you can click this reset button and it resets the whole entire stream key, and it's good as new. So once you have the stream key copied, you'll be going back to Streamlabs OBS. And right in where it says stream key that you just copied, you're going to paste it. So I just pasted it in there. And if you want to double check, you could show it here and go back and show it in your YouTube studio and make sure that they're both the same. And then once they're confirmed the same, you would click done. And now, once everything in YouTube Studio in those settings is optimized, your stream key is pasted into Streamlabs OBS, your encoder and YouTube Studio are now synced and ready to go live. So from this point, you would click down here in the bottom right where it says go live. And right here, you can see it says end stream. So now Streamlabs OBS is sending information and encoding that information, sending it out to YouTube. And once you go over to YouTube, it now says excellent connection. And as it says up here in the top right, you are currently live. And just to confirm that everything's working properly and how it should, you can see right here next to this green dot where it says excellent connection. This will change over time if your connection becomes corrupted or interrupted in any sort of way. And from that point, it usually gives you information as to what's not working well, and then you can diagnose it and fix it from there. But right now, the connection is good, so it's great. So we are connected and live, and method 1 is complete. And now we're moving on to method 2, and that is scheduling a stream by setting it up through YouTube. Now, like I mentioned before, there are 4 methods total, and the next 2 are how to set it up through Streamlabs OBS. All the information we're inputting into YouTube would instead be put into Streamlabs OBS. But for now, we're just focused on YouTube and using Streamlabs OBS as a source to just encode our video and output it for people to see. So for those of you who skipped ahead, we will be starting at the home screen, which we'll do for every single method. We're going to click Go Live right here in this tab. So unlike the first method where we use the top tab here that says Stream, we'll skip Webcam and go straight down to this tab where it says Manage. So Manage, as you can see, brings me to this where it says No Upcoming Streams. This is where you schedule a stream for a later date or later time. And the first step in doing this is going up to the top right over here where it says Schedule Stream, and it'll pull up a window that looks maybe similar to this. I've already streamed in the past, obviously, so I can just reuse settings. But for today, we will just do create new, assuming this is your first time. So once you're creating a new stream to be scheduled for later, it'll prompt you with this window. And just like the first method, we'll be going through and inputting all the information to optimize our settings for the YouTube algorithm so people can find us. However, for this tutorial, I will be going private because I don't need people seeing this, because it is just a test. But for your sake, obviously, you'll be going public. So we'll create our title. This is test. You'll add a description. This is test. And then after that, you input your category, which for me is gaming, so I can add my game title. Upload a thumbnail that's clickable. Choose your date. We'll do today. And then choose your time. Let's say we want to stream later today at noon. So we'll click that. And then you'll notice, unlike the first option, there's nowhere to input the rest of our information like tags. But fear not, we will get there. Once you have this basic information input, make sure you click Create Stream. And we are on the same page it would take you to as if you were doing a stream to just go live instantly. And from here, like in the first method, we go up here to the Edit tab in the top right. Click that, and it brings you to this information where some of it we just filled in. And if you keep scrolling, you'll see a playlist, which we didn't have before, that you can put this in. And then your tag section to further optimize for the YouTube algorithm and so forth. And obviously under details, you have live chat where you can customize your chat settings. And then once everything is input however you want it, then you can click save. Now, unlike the first option, we now have options over here in additional settings where it says enable auto start, enable auto stop. Now I have both of these turned off, which I'll go into deeper why when we connect it to Streamlabs OBS, but basically I don't want my stream starting the very second I click go live. And again, I'll explain here in a few minutes. So once everything is how you want it to be, catchy title, clickable thumbnail, good tags, it's all optimized and ready to go. We're going to copy our stream key, which we will need here in Streamlabs OBS. Now I'm assuming that everyone already has Streamlabs OBS downloaded and ready to go. So once you have it open, you go down here in the bottom left to settings. Under general, you will click stream. And like in the first method, if you just skipped ahead to this point here in the video, it'll have you pick a stream destination. I'm already logged in. However, if you are not, or even if you are, for this method, we are going to stream to custom ingest. Make sure all of these settings are as follows here on my screen. These might already be like this by default, but if not, make sure they are set to these. Now down here in stream key, we are going to paste what we just copied from the YouTube studio. And after that, you're gonna click done. And now from here, you are ready to start encoding your video from Streamlabs and send it to YouTube. Now, like I mentioned, we did not enable auto start. So by clicking go live, it now says that we are live. It says end stream, which means we are live. However, going back to YouTube here in the YouTube studio, you can see that it says excellent connection. We have the green dot, meaning that it is indeed a good connection. And as you can see, it just popped up. Looks like you're ready. Click here to start streaming. So really, we're technically not live. Even if this was a public video, people wouldn't see this until I clicked go live. And by clicking live, it doesn't backtrack to when I clicked live in Streamlabs OBS. It'll just go live to the point where I just clicked it. So if I clicked it now, people will only start seeing me right now. It won't backtrack to when I clicked live earlier on Streamlabs OBS, like I said. And basically the reason that I like doing this is because I like to let it run for like a minute or so just to ensure that my connection is good and stable. If it's not, then I can try to adjust some settings, figure out what the problem is, and then try it out again. And once I can ensure that it is indeed a good connection, then I will go live. So since we have our stream scheduled for 12 o'clock, I will go live probably a few minutes before that and just make sure that this is saying excellent connection up until that 12 o'clock point. But this says that we are indeed in good connection, so I'm happy with that, and pretend like it was 12 o'clock at the current moment, we would go live. And by clicking go live, you will now see that we are indeed live. And now with method 2 complete, we will now move on to method 3. Now here in method 3, we are going to be doing things a little bit differently. We are going to be going live to YouTube by setting everything up all through Streamlabs OBS. Whereas in the first two, all the information that we input and set up was all through YouTube. So the first of the two methods that we're going to be doing when it comes to setting up everything through Streamlabs OBS is going live instantly. So the first thing we're going to be doing is going to our settings, and then under general, click stream. Once we're in stream, this is from the first two methods when we're setting up through YouTube. We use a custom ingest to go live. If you're currently on this stream because you follow along steps before, then you'll go back to use recommended settings. If you did not and skipped ahead to this, then it should already be on this similar looking page where you're going to pick a stream destination. And for today, obviously we are talking about YouTube. So as it says over here, I am logged in. So make sure if you aren't already, you'll see where it says connect on either of these. For YouTube, it'll say that as well. So you will connect your YouTube account to Streamlabs OBS. And once you have done that, come back to this and we will proceed. So assuming that you are connected and ready to go, we will click done. Now connecting is pretty simple. You just click connect and it gives you different prompts to allow access, and you just go through those, and it's very self-explanatory, so I won't be going through that today. It takes a minute, so do that. Once it's connected, come back and then you will click done. Once everything's connected, ready to go, we will be clicking go live. Now don't be alarmed by clicking go live. It doesn't mean that we now have just went live. Whereas in the first two methods, once we streamed to a custom ingest and pasted our stream key from YouTube over here, once we clicked live, it encoded our video and started sending it to YouTube because all this information we see right here was already input and ready to go. However, that's not the case right now since we haven't set anything up at all. So we have to do it here in Streamlabs OBS. Now, once you click live, you'll see all this information here that looks similar to what we did in the YouTube studio. So all this information you're seeing right here, right now, is stuff I used for a previous stream when I went live through Streamlabs OBS. Now you'll see up here where it says create new event. By creating a new event, it doesn't actually do anything. So we can use this information we already inputted to our advantage. I always leave my description the same, so I will leave this as is. And obviously for today's purposes, we are going private because I don't want people seeing my test streams. But for you, obviously we'll be going public because you want people to see your stream. And then you can choose your category. You can upload a thumbnail that you've created through this slot right here, and it'll take you to your folders where you can click whatever thumbnail you have created. And then here are two options that we have seen before with the scheduled stream setting up through YouTube. I uncheck these, so they might be checked for you. I uncheck them so that way it doesn't instantly make us visible to our audience. We can first ensure that our stream has a stable connection before we actually go live. And another reason I don't go live right away with the auto start is because from this perspective here, unlike where in YouTube, when we first set it up through YouTube, we can input tags and whatever else we wanted to optimize our settings for the algorithm. We don't have those options here. So once everything's inputted how you want it to be, we will click confirm and go live. Now it says, obviously, you're live, which isn't entirely true. As you'll see, we can open up our YouTube studio where we can manage our stream, and here we go. Similar site to what we've seen with the previous two methods. As you can see, it's saying excellent connection. So this is something that I like to make sure before I actually go up to the top right here. That will turn blue in a second, where we can click go live officially. But for now, I don't want to go live just yet. Oh, you can see it just says we can go live now because it started setting all the information it needs to go live to YouTube. However, we want to click edit. And then here's where we start seeing things similar to what we just saw in Streamlabs OBS with the information we can input. Something we didn't see before is a playlist we can have it live in. And then also your tags, which are important for your live streams as well. Live streams work just like a normal video you would post to YouTube. Tags help. It helps people find your channel, find your video, find you while you're live. It's happened to me before and it will happen to you as well as long as you use it correctly. So input those now, and then once those are in and how you want them, you can go to your live chat, edit the settings however you want to there, and then once all that's complete, click save. I didn't change anything, so I don't have that option, so I'll cancel. And boom, everything's set up, ready to go to click go live. Now, another reason I don't have auto stop is because basically if YouTube senses that information isn't being sent to it anymore, so if something malfunctions with Streamlabs OBS or something with your internet, then it'll just cut your stream entirely. I myself, having poor internet, have had this issue before, and by having auto stop disabled, it has let me go live through Streamlabs OBS while keeping the stream up and visible on YouTube. So it'll resend information and then I can continue my stream instead of creating a whole new event, which at that point you're losing viewers and it's frustrating for everyone. Ideally, that doesn't happen at all. However, it's just a way I like to be safe. But we're up and running, and once you click go live, then you would indeed be live, as you'll see right now, and boom, we are live. And then of course, once you're done, you would click end stream, and then from here, you could go into your YouTube studio to edit some more settings if you like. And from that point, method 3 is done, and we can go to method 4. So we are now at our fourth and final method of going live to YouTube by using Streamlabs OBS. And for this last method, we are going live completely through Streamlabs OBS. Whereas the first two, if you skipped ahead to this point, we went live to YouTube by setting all up through YouTube first, and then just using Streamlabs OBS as an encoder strictly to just send that video information to our stream. However, in the previous method, we went live completely through Streamlabs OBS. Well, almost completely. There were still some things we needed to edit while in YouTube, which is why I personally mainly like to go live by setting up all of it through YouTube because it's all right there. However, at the end of the day, the end product is really all the same, so it really comes down to preference, which is why I'm showing you all of these different methods. And for the last method, like I said, we are scheduling a stream completely through Streamlabs OBS. And for that, if you skipped ahead to this point, we will need to connect our YouTube account to Streamlabs OBS. So we'll go to settings down in the bottom left. Under general, we'll go to stream. And here it'll prompt you to connect your YouTube account. If you are somehow in this stream to custom ingest window right here, you'll just go back to use recommended settings, which will bring you to the screen right here. Go through the prompts, connect your YouTube account. I'll be going through that now. It's very self-explanatory and simple. Once you have it connected and logged in, we're going to click done, and then go down here to the bottom right next to where it says go live, we have schedule stream. Here is where we can schedule our stream for a later date and or time. So we'll be going live today. For me, I'm putting private so people can't find it. However, for you, you would probably want to go public so people can actually find you. Then we have all this information that we can input, which we can also find in YouTube Studio, minus a few things that we have to go into the YouTube Studio for to input for the algorithm. However, for now, we'll make sure all these are correct and how we want them. You can add your thumbnail, your category, schedule your date. We'll go live today. And for the hours and minutes for scheduled time, it is in military time. If you don't know military time, you can easily look it up. However, an easy way to think about it is as soon as you've passed 12, subtract 12. So once you've hit 13 on the hour, then you're going to subtract 12, and that means it's 1 p.m. Once you've hit 18, say 18:15, subtract 12, and that means that it's 6:15 p.m. So right now it's not even noon for me yet, so I will just make it 12 o'clock, which is midday. Boom. And that is ready to go and scheduled to go to our YouTube channel. minus a few things we have to input while going back into YouTube, which I mentioned before. So for now though, all these options that it provides us here are complete. So we will click done. And once you click done, it'll tell you your stream has been scheduled for 17 minutes from now. If you somehow schedule a stream for earlier than the time it currently is, which is obviously an incorrect time, then it won't give you an error message. So say I said I want to go live at 10 a.m. instead, and I click done. It appears as if it just made the stream for me. That is not the case. It just didn't give me a warning. I wish it did. This is where I feel like going live straight through Streamlabs OBS has its issues. However, if you do get that message that we just saw before, that means you have scheduled it correctly and it is ready to go. And if you wanted to ensure that your stream is indeed scheduled for the time and day you put it, you can go to your YouTube channel, go to your YouTube studio, go to content here on the left-hand side, live, and boom, you can see that we have an upcoming stream set for today that we just scheduled through Streamlabs OBS. And since your Streamlabs OBS is connected to your YouTube, once you schedule it through Streamlabs, it will communicate to YouTube and schedule it on there as well. And as you can see, it's the correct time for 12. All right, so we just confirmed in YouTube Studio that our live stream has been scheduled and we still have that up. So when it's time to actually go live, we're going to go down here and click go live. And as I've mentioned in previous methods, I like to go live a few minutes early without the auto start method. So that way, by clicking go live here in Streamlabs OBS, it just starts encoding and sending video over to YouTube, but YouTube isn't actually showing it to people yet. So I'm clicking go live, and something that's very important to remember here is you can't just click confirm and go live, because by doing that, it's thinking that you just want to go live instantly. It's not going to send it to the stream that we already created that's sitting in the YouTube studio. And the way to know if you're sending it to that created event or not is if it says up here, create new event. If it says create new event, then you're just creating an entirely new stream that people weren't ready for. So basically you just click on where it says create new event, and you see right here where you have your created event. So you click on that, and this is the one that is sitting in your YouTube studio currently. So from here, once everything is to your liking, which you already made sure of earlier, but you can double check it now. Once it's ready, you click confirm and go live. Now, if you don't still have your YouTube studio open, then you can open it through this button right here. I already have it open, so it's gonna take you to the same exact thing right here. The stream that we had scheduled almost completely through Streamlabs OBS is now running with an excellent connection. And we now have the option to officially go live so our viewers can see us. However, there's still more to be done. Like I mentioned earlier, in the previous method before this one, we still had to go to this edit setting, go all the way down here. You can select a playlist, which you couldn't do in Streamlabs OBS, where this video can live in after it's been posted or completed rather. And more importantly, in my opinion, is the tags. You can input whatever tags you want for your stream to help people better find you and your channel and your live stream while you're live, so you can continue to grow an audience. And then from that point, you can go over to your live chat settings and adjust them however you want. And since I didn't make any changes, I don't have the save option available. But for you, once you input those things, you can click save. And then from that point, you are officially ready to go live during your scheduled time of the day. And up here, you'll see scheduled for 11:54. That time's different than 12 we mentioned earlier, but since I didn't wait till 12 o'clock to go live for the purpose of this tutorial, it switched it to 11:54 when we actually went live. And once all the settings are to your liking, obviously you click the blue go live button officially, and then you are sending your video to your viewers and you are ready to go. Don't mind this message right here. I'm just outputting an extremely high bit rate for the purposes of recording. For you, yours will probably sit around 4,000 to 6,000, not 10,000. It'll be perfectly fine for YouTube settings. And that right there completes the fourth and final method on how you can go live straight to YouTube using Streamlabs OBS. Oof, man, that was a lot of breath used to go through that entire video for you guys, but it was worth it if it helped at least even one of you guys. And all this speaking of going live just makes me want to mention one more time that I personally go live using Streamlabs OBS every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 6:30 p.m. Eastern and on, and also Saturday mornings. If this video helped you, then pop by my stream. Let me know that you came from this video, it was useful to you. Share it to a friend, a family member, whoever you know that it also may be useful to. And if there's anything else about YouTube specifically, streaming on YouTube, posting YouTube, whatever that you want answers about that I may have the answers to, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I would love to get back to you guys on those and maybe even make a full in-depth video about it if it warrants it. But past that, I'm very tired of talking. I appreciate you all who stuck around. I appreciate those of you who tuned into the streams lately. And I'll catch you in the next one.